Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Ever Crisis and the EX1 Bahamut on my free-to-play account. This thing was wild, took a lot of effort. Pretty much had the strategy all the way back when the first couple of days Bahamut came out. We did over my live stream at twitch.tv. If you guys want to check out my effort and my changing this setup and going through the right setup, you guys can check all that out there. It's in the VODs. But I'm going to recap everything that I did, how I beat this. Shout out to one of the JP players out there who also did this with a weaker account than mine, showing you guys that yes, my account is strong, but it's about the strategy. So don't just go like, oh, I don't have that. Apply the knowledge and then look through your inventory of like weapons and see which one you guys can use. 1 second. Sorry about that. That was my wife calling. My girls are sick right now. Zelda and Penelope. This weekend's been crazy. I would have had this uploaded sooner, but I also skipped yesterday's stream too. I apologize though. Life has just been kind of crazy all over the place. And now I got 2 baby girls to take care of like extra hard because of how sick they are. So I'm going to get through this video, talk about it. There's a very hard that's also before this one, and this strategy does apply to it. This is just the extreme version because at the beginning of this fight, Mega Flare happens, so you need a little bit more magic resist, but it does help in the previous fight because magic resist and tanking Mega Flare is a thing. So let's jump into this, let's talk about it and go through everything to help you guys have a strategy for now or later when you're ready, because this is end game content and it's not necessary to have, just really nice too. Alright, so before you get freaked out by my actual power level, my cloud, all that, let me explain to you that this is very much on strategy, when to use what, and abusing a couple mechanics in the game that make things easier. So you're going to see my strategy here. This is a free-to-play account, and there's also a JP player who has less power level than me, who's also a free-to-play player on the JP side. Let me just translate this to English. So huge shout out to them as well for clearing this as a free-to-play, and their setup is much weaker than mine is. So you can go through their entire strategy here. They're at 180. You can see I have no overboost 6 weapons. They're using Tifa as a healer, right? They got Cloud with OB4 Murasami using Hard Edge for the extra damage because they don't have an overboost 6 weapon. Hard Edge makes up for that difference, right? Using Lightning Cloud, level 9, but they're level 65, and this matters. The higher you are in level, the closer you are to the enemy's level, the more damage you do. And you also got those extra stats from the growth stream. So they go through theirs, and you're going to see their Tifa, 6,800, 179 defense, 2,200 attack, right? So I am about to show you mine, and I know you guys can be automatically like, oh, you're way too strong. Eventually, this is endgame. But also to show you that you don't have to be as strong as my setup. It's just about the strategy. 2,782 attack, 7,500 HP, and then their Matt, who is not the healer, he's there for other reasons. Their Matt stats are 7,600, 2,297. So hopefully you guys can look past how strong this account is. It is free to play, no money added to it. This is about the strategy. So let's go in and talk about the strategy. I'm going to emphasize that word so much. This is strategy. Yes, you need a good setup, but this is strategy. Besides my Cloud, my Matt here only has 1 overboost on a healing weapon, right? That's the magic defense up. This is a farmable Bahamut weapon. This is not a pullable weapon. Only 1 overboost. So besides Cloud being strong, whatever your main DPS is, all they have to do is carry a D-Faith. That's it. These are stat sticks. I'm using Murasami Cloud because that's my lightning setup. If you have a Shiva setup like Sephiroth or Tifa, who has the Arcanum costume, and you've got a really good weapon for them and their attack is close to 3,000, then use that. Bring the defense down to go along with that, right? Your DPS is going to be much different from my DPS. The DPS is just here to help with that 1 D-Faith. The rest of the setup is all up to you. Right? The rest of the setup's up to you. That's for HP. This is for boost attack, and this is for more HP, so I can survive because I didn't really stack power defense. So main DPS, what you guys need to do is get a place where you find out where your HP and defense need to sit, because the hardest part of this fight is not the Mega Flare, it's when he's doing his single target physical attack. So you got to find a balance between HP and defense. And you can see the other guy's video, he's around like 8 HP, less than 8,000. So this is just me being extra precautious, and I do have the ability to do this. So whatever your DPS is, get them as high as possible and raise their HP and defense so you don't get one-shotted. And you find that out for your account by jumping into the fight, get to that point, and you say, okay, he did 7,000 to me, I got to get my character to 7,000. So that's DPS. DPS is whatever summon and costume works with you, right? This should be Shiva, Sephiroth, Tifa with their Arcanium costumes. You can use whoever you have. It doesn't matter if it's like not the perfect thing, but if you don't have the Arcanium setup, then probably just use their Limit Break instead of using Ramuh, Shiva, Ifrit, right? We don't have Fire Arcanium, so only Shiva and Ramuh can really pull this off. Now, besides the DPS, let's move to your sub DPS. So your main DPS, the only thing that they're gonna hold that's gonna be different is, the same is D-Faith. That's it. All right, push that to the side. Next is your sub DPS. Sub DPS is doing 2 things here, 3 actually. Tifa's probably one of the best ones to use for this. Barrett's also another example, right? You're gonna bring in Somersault because quick limit break. This is gonna be very important in the fight, and I'll explain it when we get there. Animation canceling on the enemy, but this limit break lowers defense of both physical and magical. We're bringing in the new Bahamut gloves because it has diamond sigil breaking. And we're bringing in these knuckles, which is a tiger fangs, to lower the enemy's magic attack. So this is how we're going to deal with the first Mega Flare, is these tiger fangs, the D-Faith, and then whoever's AoE weapon you have for magic attack up. Cloud has one, Matt has one, Aerith as a healer can also do it as well for the very hard mode. In this mode, you need it overboost to 6, so it does 2 tiers in 1 cast, but that's to survive Mega Flare. Raising your magic defense, lowering the enemy's magic attack by 2 per cast and 1 per cast. And I'm going to show you how to do that when we're in there. So, sub DPS's other goal is during that big phase of physical damage, the HP defense up on your character stats matter, but then you're going to barrier this only 1 tier of power defense, and you're going to debrave them. So 1 cast of debrave. So my sub DPS is only there to do so much DPS, but all the utility for my account specifically. And now here's my Tifa stats. She's coming in here with 2,000 magic attack because this is a magic attack weapon. She's got 9,000 HP, which is overkill, and you're going to see that. But her power defense is at a place, and magic defense to help her survive those attacks. And a lot of that comes from the event weapons that are currently out right now. And this is here, Nameless, was a free weapon. Here's for the boost HP. So Tifa's whole setup here is just to survive and apply all that utility. Not here for the damage, but the damage does help. Now, moving on to my healer. A lot of people use Tifa as the healer because Tifa can bring in heals, plus she brings in that Diamond Sigil or the magic attack down, which is most like this, but I don't have her actual summer outfit for healing, so I don't use her as a healer. Matt's my healer because he brings in that utility of magic defense up by 2 tiers and the heal. Bringing in Cura because when he does that single target hit, this is not good enough to heal back to max. You have to bring some kind of single target cure, and it's better on Tifa with her lifeguard wraps because Tifa's lifeguard wraps, if you look at it and you actually use her as a healer, her 3rd materia slot has heal boost plus 20%. So your Cura materia is going to do that much more healing, and that's why you see a lot of people use her as your healer. Me, I don't have that option, but it's still good to bring in that single target. Now, the other thing is, Matt's not using his limit break to raise my defense. I have the right amount on everything here. What we need limit breaks are all summon or quick limit breaks to do animation canceling. So we're using Ifrit here, not for the damage, not because of anything specific, only because it's a fast cast. It comes back really fast, recharging, and it will be used quite often just to interrupt the enemy. So key things here, single target cure because it has high potency, 96%. Compared to the main weapon at 63%. So you're going to use this when the single target damage is too much on a ally, and I'll show you that. The stat sticks here are either to raise your defense, raise your heals, or raise your HP. So they're not here to make your healer a damage dealer. They're here to survive. HP 5%, power defense plus 11 with magic defense. So this is one of those like sort of not good materials come into play. This one's a good one. It's got HP percentage and heal. Magic attack doesn't matter with magic defense. So you need defensive stuff on your sub DPS or your healers, but you still need to do enough damage at the end. Sub weapon wise, again, healing, and then the new event weapons for HP defense. So you can see the pattern there that there is some sort of defensive mechanics on these characters. Magic defense. So she does some sort of damage because the rest of her setup carries that HP. Alright, so welcome to the Bahamut fight. Let me explain step by step of everything that's important. 1, pay attention to this gauge. It's going to be one of the key factors to squeezing out every little bit of damage, so never let it sit in defense for too long. 2, watch Bahamut's body movement. There's certain animation he does before he casts something that you can interrupt and make him do that over and over before he has a casting bar, which is going to save you a ton. 3, never let your DPS be on its own, or your healer. You got to take care of those guys a lot. So there's going to be a lot of jumping back and forth, but this first phase is the phase where he casts Mega Flare. All you have to do is take away all 4 tiers of magic defense and lower his magic attack by 3 tiers down, depending on your HP and your magic defense. For me, my goal is to get Tifa to do upper shot with Cloud helping with D-Faith and my healer raising my magic defense. So here's how this phase works. We're going to start off with Tifa. We're going to lower 2 tiers, jump over to Cloud, your healer, raise magic defense, hop over to Cloud, cast 1 D-Faith, make sure he doesn't do anything else after this. Go back to Tifa. You're going to raise another. You can see right here. Let me pause. We're getting this down. If you don't have that option where you see the triangles, go into your settings, go into battle, and you'll see there's a little box that turns on and off. So Tifa is now able to do, because of 2 tiers, all the way to 3. So we got Matt and her to do the defense up and her lowering this. Cloud, if you left him alone, might use D-Faith. You don't want that. You want to wait till this bar hits 50% and you use your Thunder Strike or whatever your main DPS's main attack is. And right before this is happening, there's just enough time for upper shot, which lowers magic defense. Matt's not going to get a defense up in here, or your other characters. What you want to do is let them keep that ATB bar to heal back up. So I'm spamming this button and I'm going to switch the defense to the last second. So you see spam. Watch my attack over here, switch to defense, and we just got that 3 tiers magic attack down. So with the combination of no magic defense down on my characters plus 3 tiers down on him, we survive. And you can see that attack amount there with my current stats. That's first attack, second attack, 6,500 on Cloud, 5,000, 5,500, because they all have different magic defense, right? Surviving with plenty of HP. The magic attack is not the case. Stack on that physical defense if you have enough HP. Don't worry about the magic defense too much. Later on, you need more magic defense. That's up to you. So here you can see I stay in defense mode and I switch to Cloud because we don't want Cloud to use his attack just yet. So because I was in defense mode, the AI Matt healed our party, switched to attack, and now we wait for Mega Flare bar. This bar carries over in multiple phases. Whatever you complete here, and he stops at 5, 4, 3, you beat it. When this Mega Flare comes back, it starts at 3, where you left it off, or 2. So keep that in mind. It's not that big of a deal. You're going to let this cast off later on. So here we're going to wait for that 50% on this attack bar to be full, and that Bahamut Mega Flare bar to appear, so Cloud gets the first big chunk in there, so we get through this quicker. During this phase, you're going to heal up with your healer, but you're also going to use your limit break on your quick Tifa here as fast as possible. The rest you save. So back to Cloud. If you ever switch to healing, make sure you're staying to this. You do want to be full HP because the next phase is a big, heavy magic phase. Don't worry that the timer's going down and all that, because we are going to get hit by Mega Flare later on. So preparing ahead of time afterwards. This phase is just making sure that your main DPS is attacking with a 50% gauge. And once you know Mega Flare is about to be done, right, because you broke it, you're going to use your magic attack down user to lower the magic attack right away. And you're going to go to your character that has magic defense up and get ready. So here's the trick. So you can see upper shot, and then I switch to Matt. I raise my magic defense ahead of time, coming back to Tifa because I want to get that down to 3 attack down. So I cast that and we go back to Matt. And because we're in attack mode the whole time, we don't have to worry about our DPS. And even if we do lose a little bit of damage here, not a big deal. But Our limit breaks are now going to be that thing I was talking about, animation canceling. So you do want to switch to your DPS to get their limit breaks up as fast as possible, but save this somersault for when he does the umbral strike, which is a magic attack. So with Matt here, we took away all the magic defense down on us and we lower the magic attack. Now he's going to cast something, watch his body movement. So you see that? He curls up, he opens up, his hands glow, and you can tell what kind of attack you're taking. This has a wand, so that's magic attack. You know you have to lower magic attack or raise your magic defense. But as soon as he does that animation and you see him glow, casts your limit break. We're blocking him. So he doesn't get that attack off, and while you're doing this, your ATB is raising. So you can see he's not attacking. No one took damage, and your ATB bar now gets the charge. So we're gonna get Cloud's limit break up, and there it is, Umbral Strike. I'm spamming summon over here. Spam, spam, spam. We blocked Umbral Strike again. He has to cast 2 of these in a row. So he did 2 AoE magic attack down for defense, and then he does 2 of these. So now our healer is ready to heal and stay in defense. Plus all our ATB got higher. We got rid of our limit breaks, which means everything we cast now will go towards our new limit break, making this fight much faster. So after the second Umbral Strike, we have nothing else to block this. We just stay in defense mode, switch it back, heal up, and now this phase is where we go back into Mega Flare. So Mega Flare carries over. So our healer is going to do what he's going to do, heal everyone up. You can see there, let me show you one more time, that Mega Flare, when he started casting it, said 3, because it carried over. And it doesn't matter, because this one we're going to let happen. We're not going to save our summons for this. If you're strong enough, you save all 3 summons, use all 3 of them, and go. What we're doing here is doing as much damage as possible. You can use Tifa's limit break because it comes back so quickly, so don't save Tifa's. But everyone else's, save it. Even if it's up here, we're going to use it to animation cancel. But the way this is going, they're not going to be up in time. So we are going to get hit by this limit break. Our strategy here is just to stay in our DPS and get our limit breaks back up on Tifa. But you're always on your DPS. Make sure your characters are full health, because the next phase you don't want to be healing. You want to be reducing his Mega Flare damage by raising your defense and lowering his attack. So, because I know he's on 1, I'm going to stay on my Mac character, and here's a little trick. Click on an ability that makes you choose a character, and even though you're full, the AI won't stop you. The AI is not going to take over, not for a while anyway. So here's a little way to extend it. It feels like a waste, but this phase, he lowers our magic attack by a bunch, so we want to have that double, triple cast during this. So you see I cast twice, boom, all magic defense down is now gone. Next is Tifa to lower magic attack with Cloud. So you're going to make sure you get all that magic attack down, and then make sure on Cloud he's only doing his main Thunder Strikes. That's why it's important that you guys switch to your main DPS that has Defaith, because he might cast Defaith. So after you double cast the defense up, switch to your main DPS, because your Tifa or whoever is going to do the upper shots. Once it's at -1 upper shot, you have to control Tifa. So here we're just going boom, boom, boom. We got 2 defense up. He's got 3 tiers of attack down. We're going to survive Mega Flare. Switch to defense mode on your attack stance, and you are good. This one is more, there's more damage coming out of this one. So 2,400. 6,700. No, it's about the same. It always feels like it's more, but it's not. So I lied. So now that we're here, after this Mega Flare, we're going to heal up and we're going to watch his body movement. He's going into an attack phase where he's going to attack us twice and then go into Sigil Breaking. So we're going to use every single one of these summons to go ahead and block it. So watch his body. As you're healing with your healer, we're staying on our healer. Let our DPS do what they want. Watch him. He's going to twitch his arms. There it is. See him move his back arm? As soon as that happened, you can see him already clicking Tifa because defense down. Use that first. Stop it. That's Unity. Unity is a big single target physical attack. This is where we're going to use Tifa to lower the enemy's physical attack 1 tier and raise 1 defense. So as you're blocking, he now has to recast it. You will have a small window to switch to defense, heal, switch back, and click the next summon. You can see how fast his arm moved. Sometimes you'll miss it. I think I miss it here. But if you didn't miss it, you can block him. It's actually better to keep 1 summon for the next one, because now you're pretty much at full HP. So it was actually okay that this happened. So because my characters are at all quarter HP and I know my AoE can heal this, I'm going to use an AoE heal because sometimes he double strikes the same character, and then other times he'll attack one character, and the next unity for dive bomb, he'll switch to another character. Keep that in mind, right? So we're going to do the AoE heal to make sure everyone's up. And you can see Tifa's defense is up, and you can see one physical attack down, all because of Tifa's utility. And that's all you need to survive. If you have something else, like you're using Sephiroth for magic damage, he has a 2 defense up, a vent weapon. You guys can use that. It doesn't have to be AoE defense up. All you need is this one barrier. So we're taking 6,994 damage because our current defense. If you don't have enough defense weapons to make everyone's defense be high, you can keep restarting this fight over and over and over again until it hits the one character whose defense is high enough to survive this. So if you need to stack more damage on your main character for damage, or your healer needs more heals, make one character high enough defense to survive, and that way you can just keep resetting till RNG is on your side. So you can see right there, once we get further through that first unity, we got to get our character's HP back up. So we're going to block it. He twists his arm, because this is the second physical attack he does. We use Ramu. I was like, Ifrit, no. We use Ramu to block it. Still doing good damage, even though it's not all stacked. And we could have used Somersault here, but I was too late because I was busy healing, and I didn't know how fast he was. Totally fine. You know what I mean? Because of my current HP. But if not, be ready for that. Let your ATB bars fill up. The whole reason we animation cancel with limit breaks is so that this ATB bar is still charging. Sorry, I had to pause the video here. Let's continue. So, dive bomb's coming in. Tifa's at good HP. She's got defense up on her, and he has no physical attack down. I panicked. I screwed up. Make sure that physical attack down. Because my defense is high enough, my HP is high enough, I take 7,781, which is a lot more damage than I want to take, and I wasn't ready. I was thankful that I still survived. So make sure to put that one physical defense down. It makes a difference. Plus your physical attack up. Or sorry, physical defense up. Now that those 2 dive bombs are done, he immediately goes into this Sigil Break phase. And this is where the Bahamut weapon, Killer Hornet, whatever you guys have to break Diamond Sigil, one of your characters need it. Or you're not going to make this unless you have perfect full bars on everyone, and that's not happening. So you can see through this whole part here, after I'm done healing, I come to Tifa, and the reason I forget to use this is because I'm trying to save my ATB for the next phase. And I notice, oh no, I forgot. So that's why I forgot the physical attack down, because I'm trying to save for this next phase. So in the next phase, you have to make sure this is full. See how it says matching sigil on the bottom +1? When it's full, oh, I switched it by accident, but you see I'm not using anything. Wait. Now you see it says sigil, matching sigil destruction +2. You get bonus. So now the Bahamut weapon that has diamond sigil on it is going to do 4 break instead of just a 2 break. Or if this is 25%, 3 breaks. Same thing with your spells, right? That have the proper sigil breaking. So cast it, or sorry, it's going to do 3 in total because it only does 1. So there you go. We double cast, and then everyone here has to do it. If you did this properly, my first cast didn't go through, so we are kind of screwed here. So I waited for a 3rd cast. You don't have to cast this 3 times. I screwed up on the 25% part in the beginning. But now that you broke them, I'm going to go full HP, get rid of Somersault right away. We're not going to use it for animation canceling. We just want to make sure we're doing damage during this phase because there's a lot of damage here. But the real DPS race happens when he gets close to like a quarter HP into the red zone is when he goes crazy. So you can still kind of screw around and have fun here, right? Just doing DPS. This phase, just keep everyone topped up, keep doing damage, get your defense, magic defense up, right? Get your full heals, and just keep lowering his magic attack. Now, Mega Flare is here. He's starting a brand new Mega Flare because the last one we got hit by, so it's starting from 5. This phase right here, DPS as much as you can, and just DPS if you're at good health. If you're not at good health, make sure to top everyone off just about 3/4, because after this, it's all a DPS race, right? So you can see I got everyone topped off, and now everyone's just going to do pure DPS. You can do the whole counter here. Now, depending on how weak you are, you might have to go through multiple phases of this. But from my run, I didn't. If you're weaker, you're going to go through these phases quite a bit. So the more Mega Flares you break, the better. So you can probably use all your summons here to break it quickly. So you continuously go through those. But once you hit around the red mark, or close to the red mark of his HP, he's going to go into his final form. So depending on how strong you are or how less damage you do compared to me, you can recycle all these phases. You now know you survive all these phases. For me, I know that I'm going to hit that zone really soon. So I'm DPSing like crazy here. I'm saving all my summons, right? No matter what happens next, I'm saving these summons so I can start off that counter with the summons and just go at it. So he's going to tail flail. If you were doing differently, my first run for this, I was using summon, block, tail flail, summon, block it, limit break, block it. So he had to recast these moves over and over and over again, buy me more time doing DPS and allowing my characters to fill that limit break back up. So this last part, it all depends on you. My first run, I used all these limit breaks separate. But then I realized, okay, because I'm getting close to that mark, don't heal, just DPS. Only heal if it looks like you're about to die. So this last phase can be done in different ways. Limit breaking all these attacks to cancel them, to buy more time, buy more time, buy more time. He sees, does Umbral Strike. I switch to defense mode because I'm on my DPS, making sure he only attacks at 50%. And you can see me lowering magic attack with Tifa there. But this is where he goes Dark Aura. You see how he says Dark Aura and he animated? We can cast limit breaks here to cancel that. So he has to cast it again. So even though he went through that little phase of that, went through all my limit breaks here. So we're going for that full damage, right? And I'm getting rid of all the limit breaks so that it goes into the red zone and I can recharge these limit breaks once he does his counter. But if you time your limit break cast properly, he has to do that Dark Aura again, where he goes Dark Aura, right? But mine didn't do that. So I was a little too late. Try to time that there to buy you more time. That limit break and all the limit breaks you use in here while he's counting down and doing Dark Aura, and then he goes into a countdown, you can use limit breaks to cancel this, especially the last one when he's about to cast Mega Flare. So now, once he started counting, as soon as you saw Dark Aura, and even before that, your healer shouldn't be healing. Even though they're only doing like 1,000 damage, it's going to add up. Mine's doing 1,750 with Runra. It's going to add up. Do not heal, do not raise defense, do not let any of the AI play here, because the AI will use Cloud's Defaith. The AI will raise your defense on Matt or whoever has your defense up, right? The AI is going to try to survive this. It can't. This is the end. This is it. So we're using Somersaults because we know it comes out back quickly and we still have to wait half bar. So by the time my limit breaks are ready on Cloud and Matt, Tifa should be back. And again, we're recasting it, blocking those Dark Auras, blocking his animation, canceling, right? So just keep going back and forth between all three of your characters and choose their strongest setup. There's no more going to defense mode, so you always have max damage, and it's just a race to the end. So that last part, right before his HP turned red, all those phases, you change that differently depending on your DPS to get into this phase with as little HP as possible and be ready with your buffs, be ready with everything. HP, defense up, doesn't matter. So here's the last little tip. Animation cancel. He's at 1. Get Tifa's, whoever's limit break up as soon as possible. Save it, right? So they all cast together. Or I'm going to use limit break here. See, he's about to move his body. I'm already clicking it. He's about to cast Mega Flare. He went, and I clicked on it right away. He has to recast that again, right? He was about to cast Mega Flare. This gives me more ATB charge, pauses him, and now he cast it. There's Flare Aura. That saved us a lot of time, giving us more opportunity to raise our limit breaks. Waiting for Clouds before I do this to get the extra 1.1. I could cast Hellfire, right? But I'm making sure to cast them together because I know that AT bar is still going. And that's how I full cleared this fight. A lot of animation canceling to help buy you time for healing, damage, a lot of defense up, defense down. If you guys don't have as much damage as my Cloud, you're bringing Hard Edge or some magic defense down weapon for your Sephiroth or whoever your damage dealer is, and the rest is surviving with the stats in the beginning. Use a lot of those event weapons, but don't give up. Keep trying. This is endgame content. I believe in you. So that's pretty much everything. Hopefully this helped you out. If you guys have any full clears that you did, want to leave it down in the comment section to show you different characters to use, different setups. This is just my setup, what I did on day one, live streaming it and tweaking it throughout the weekend. Hopefully it helps out. If not, comment section, my Discord, my live streams, lots of people to talk to. Check the links down below for that. I will be tackling the EX2. It's about the same. I've got him down to a really good place, and I think I can beat the EX2. It's just going to take a little bit more tweaking and retrying, a lot of retrying until I get there. So I'll post that as soon as I can, if it's soon or later down the months, right? It's endgame content, not a big deal. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.